There are so many English people who are unaware of the role that Muslims play within this country. Firstly, we Muslims, we number around 4 million in this country. And the economic role that we have is that Muslims contribute billions to the economy. Similarly, from 1973, even the likes of the late King Faisal, he invested billions, the Saudis invested billions within the British economy. And currently, as we speak, Arab nations have contributed to the development of the British economy. Therefore, when people hear about Muslims and their role within the United Kingdom, they need to do some research as to the economic benefits Muslims have given. For instance, expat communities within Britain alone, the savings accounts that the Pakistani community and the Indian community and the Bengali community, the South Asian community have within the banks alone. Anyone who works in a bank within the inner city will be able to inform you that the South Asian community contribute towards the upkeep of the British economy. Similarly, in terms of taxes, in terms of businesses, in terms of investments. Then, many times unfair comparisons are made when events occur. For instance, when the Manchester incident occurred, where the two young men had a punch-up with the police, the Manchester police, the far right, what did they do? They stated, many of them stated, that these Muslims do not have the right to treat our police force in such a way. When these sentiments were stated, afterwards, when the Southport killings occurred, based upon false information, the right wing assaulted the police with bricks, injuring more than 30 police officers, breaking public property, raiding a shop, taking all the stock from the shop, meaning thieving and looting. That was done under the guise of protecting Britain, of standing up for Britain. So there was a false claim made with regard to the far right being concerned with regard to the safety of the police, and then later on they carry out assault on the police. So these are the double standards we have within the far rights. And similarly, the role of Arabs and Asians and people of color, the contribution of those people to the economy and the upkeep of Britain is ignored, to the point that the wealth that was taken from those nations which were former colonies of Britain, as well as the current economic benefits that Britain receives from developing countries, from Gulf states, from various African countries. Those people who are racially bigoted, they must realize that Britain will not be so great if it did not have all those international relations. Britain would not be so great if they did not have those international ties with various ethnicities and groups. And there is a reason why people like our ancestors entered this country from the 1930s into the 1940s and 50s to rebuild Britain. The construction that occurred in the 1950s, much of it occurred on the labour of those migrants who entered this country and reconstructed Britain and made Britain great within the international community.